And we are joined now by the Solicitor-General Fhedzisani Pandelani from the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development for progress on this matter. A very good evening to you, and thank you so much for speaking to us. If I could just ask you to recount the maths for us and also confirm the statement, if it's true, if it's accurate to say that you believe you have done all you can just in terms of compensation for the families of the miners, those who were injured and killed.
Good evening, Tepiso. Thank you very much for welcoming me, and thanks to your viewers as well. Yes, we've been seized with these matters. As you would recall, we had considered the merits in relation to the occurrence of that unfortunate incident at Marikana. And we engaged actively with these matters. There was no stage at which we shirked our responsibility. And as your report indicates, we have already committed and paid just under 331 million rand to a group of individuals which are categorized as those that in fact have lost their loved ones, which is loss of support. We've also paid under various heads of damages relating to arrest, detention, and those that in fact sustained gunshot wounds. And that is the total exposition that I actually have quantified of 330 million, just under. If you were to actually go for the exact figure, it's 330 million, 445,630 rands and 37 cents. That is what was before us. When you deal with issues of settlement, you look at the papers that have been served before you, you look at similar cases, there is enough jurisprudence in that space. And we have, in fact, used actuarial calculations in consultations with the claimants. And of the 5 representatives who were representing diverse groupings of people, we have, in fact, met them and paid them the amounts as I've actually articulated during the press conference. Now, there is this residual issue of nephews, relatives, uncles, aunts, and everybody else. And as you might have picked up from my press briefing, we do not have a mandate. It was supposed or intended to be an ex gratia payment. Ex gratia payment is out of goodwill. It is not something that you would probably be able to, prove in court, because when you want to prove payment in relation to what falls under constitutional damages, you need to do more than just merely indicating I was dependent on this person. You first have to demonstrate to us other aspects as well. So that's where we are.
So what SERI is saying it's looking to claim for these constitutional damages, is this what should be understood as emotional damages? And I know that the claimants are represented by different law firms. How many of these is SERI looking at claiming for?
It's 320. The number is 320. Those are extended relatives.
So I'm going back to this, which you said even in the press conference, that it is it's an unheard of concept, this of constitutional damages. The figures are quite a number, so we want to understand as viewers. I mean, we're told that miners' families secured settlements of loss of support for an amount of 71,230,491. So the breakdown of the figures that SERI is talking about constitutional damages, is this above and beyond, or is this part of the settlement?
It's above and beyond. It's more additional funding that is required for the extended family members.
And what number are they talking about here? We're talking about 34 families, of which you said in your press conference, of which the other 10, they have not been accounted for because there have been no causation of death that could be attributed to government and the state? Because I'm wondering, are you expecting perhaps latent claims to be lodged?
There is no likelihood of any claims to be lodged 11 years down the line. Our law provides that there is a concept called prescription of matters. So if you do have a claim against me, which you are aware of, you are allowed the latitude of preferring a claim against me within a period of 3 years, except where you were a minor as at that stage, at which point prescription starts running from the age of 18. Now, there cannot be any new claims in relation to those that we catered for. So just to put a proper picture, there were 10 people that died before the 16th of August. And that was a category of people that were killed by some of the miners that were on strike, right? There was no claim against the government in the normal course. Those might have been police. Those might have been individual security forces that were working for Lonmin. They never preferred any claim against us. What we then got was a category of deceased families, all of them under the auspices of SIRI. In total, they were 36. Of those 36, one person had died without any dependents. And we are saying there is no obligation on the state to be paying any other person, because if you die without any relatives, that's another issue altogether. We paid that 71 million rand accounts for the 34 families that are recorded to have perished in that unfortunate incident. And the amounts will vary. So from the 71 million, 230,000 rand, you will then subdivide it on the dependents of that person that died as a direct result of the shooting and related aspects. The category that we are talking about now, which falls under the realm of constitutional damages, is not something that is within the contemplation of what we ordinarily will deal with in terms of common law in South Africa. It is something that is an expansion of the notion of compensation.
Okay.
That's where the argument is.
I need to ask a final question. The criticism that has been labeled against government by people like Amnesty International, for instance, even SERI itself, has been the slow pace of prosecutions, particularly by the NPA. The fact that the investigations ended in 2016. Given the delay in that justice being served, can you truly say that government has done enough and that you have paid out all the payments that you need to, that you have no fears that there could be something that comes before you that you may have to deal with and further litigate?
Sabisa, there could be there is likely other aspects that could be dealt with. My mandate only deals with civil litigation. So I'm not in a position to be able to talk about the slow delay in prosecution, because that is criminal prosecution of people that might have been involved. And it will be unfair of me to venture an opinion on the challenges that are there, the evidence that is required, because it doesn't honestly fall within the realm of what my mandate is. My mandate is to deal with the civil aspect relating to any claim that is preferred against the state.
All right, we thank you for your clarification and your insights on that. Fhedzisani Pandelani is the Solicitor-General on the progress made by government with regards to compensation of the families of the victims of the Marikana massacre. We're going to leave it there for now. We are back again with more news. Do stay with us. This is The Late Edition.